Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Menil Collection. My name is Mary Magsman. I'm the manager of public programs, and we're really happy to have you all here tonight. Before we begin, I wanted to tell you about an upcoming program. We have a lecture on Thursday night that is with Richard Hilton, and it is on Joe Overstreet and his Senegal paintings. Tonight's program is being recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel later. And I also wanted to be sure to tell you all about our hot off the press public programs guide and encourage you to take one. It has all of our public programs through June, so please pick one up if you want to see what else is going on. We're honored to welcome the extraordinary Outspoken Bean, a celebrated poet, performer, and educator. He was Houston's 2021 to 2023 Poet Laureate, and he's performed widely, including the Houston Ballet, and last year we also did a When the Art Speaks program with Bean. He is also a dedicated mentor to the WIT's Metaphor Houston program, and we're always happy to have him around here. For the program tonight, Bean collaborated with the Menil Archives department and worked with them for many months, digging through the archives and researching tonight's program, which is focused on the Dominique's support of the Houston Black Panthers. The Dominiques were known for their commitment to art and social justice, and they played a key role in civil rights advocacy and supporting the Panthers' free breakfast program and legal defense efforts. Joining Bean tonight is a talented musician Defoe and the poet Maya. So please join me in welcoming Outspoken Bean.
Hello, how are y'all? Okay, great, not good. That's not a great answer for Black History Month, you know what I'm saying? Or the month of love, whichever you prefer. But so I'm gonna ask again, how are y'all? Yeah, definite. So we're gonna jump right in, but it may feel like we're not jumping right in. Does that make sense, y'all? But we are. So I am a person that is, I'm a very curious person, right? And I'm gonna start from the beginning. So it's about 2014, right? 2014, all right? Or 13. And I work for writers in the schools. We're over there now, but we used to be over on West Main, right? And there was an exhibit in one of these rooms down this hallway where I remember seeing pictures like this of Black children being showcased, right? I remember seeing letters and check stubs, and a lot of things surprised me of that moment. One of the things that surprised me was the Menil Foundation financially supported the Black Panther Party, Third Ward chapter. And first off, at that time, I didn't even know Houston had a Black Panther chapter. And so my introduction being, at that time, my introduction to like finding out this information and then finding out that this institution financially supported for years, right? And it was, the exhibit was for love letters to John De Menil, right? And so it was all these different letters and all these different archives. And so years later, years later, I'm Houston's Poet Laureate, right? And my project as Poet Laureate was where I would interview people, record those interviews, collect those stories, and then put that work and those ideas and those words that these people gave to me, and then put that on like a digital, a mixtape, right? So it's called the Space City Story Tape, right? And it's anywhere you can find music, right? And one of the stories that came from that, and I'm going to give a shout out to Jada. Her poetry name is Free K. She was like, oh, you should interview my grandma. I was like, okay, cool. And I did. Her grandmother was raised in Third Ward, and then that's when I heard a first account from one person to me about how active and how real and how tangible the Black Panther Party was in Third Ward, right? Hearing someone talk about, yeah, I've gotten breakfast. I've seen people, like it's one thing to hear it, but it's another to hear from someone, an elder, tell you the experience, the good and the bad, right? And that blew me away. And here we are now, me not remembering what the name of the exhibit was in 2014, right? Trying to convince this institution, hey, I have this really cool idea where I would love to show gratitude and also just let people know, many for the first time, about the transformative work that y'all helped happen. Because I don't know, I live in 2025 and groceries are expensive now, right? But it means something. There is an act of defiance when things in a capitalistic structure, when everything has to be paid for, the act of defiance of like, no, they are going to, there's no cost here, right? And that is a blatant disruption of capital. So much so that the federal government wind up taking that idea, and that's how we got free lunch in America, right? They wind up taking that idea from the Panthers because this was not an original idea to Houston, right? Chicago, where the Black Panther Party started, in Oakland, giving free breakfast, right? Giving free rides to elders, right? Bus routes were created because Black Panthers would find ways to raise money. So here's what I'm getting at. There always is it's important to have a Huey P. Newton. It's important to have a Fred Hampton. But it's also important, because these men, very young, wise beyond their years, these men were on the front lines. They were the ones rallying people, right? But I'm going to introduce you to some names you may or may not have heard of, right? And our Huey P. Newton here in Houston, his name was Carl Hamilton, right? He wound up dying in a shootout with HPD. The person writing the letters, as I read these letters, Stephen Edwards, right? He came from California, moved to Houston, and saw that there was a party, a Black Panther Party, not a party, right? And he was the one who was bold enough to start writing letters to the Menil. Things do not get funded without someone sitting, seeing a vision, taking in ideas, and sending it out. Messaging matters so much when things need to get out, and he was able to raise money. These are not, if you look, and then you'll see some on the screen throughout the whole performance, those are real check stubs. For 2.5 years, the Menil Foundation was writing checks to every 2 weeks, like a salary. 500, 700, 800, clockwork, right? They believed in the vision. So I want to expose some of that. I want to read some letters to y'all. I'm gonna do some poetry. We're gonna hear some music. Is that good with y'all? Yeah? So it's interesting. There's someone in here. This poem was written as a request, and it was anytime I'm able to do something for someone who looks like me, right, in an endeavor that they were pursuing, that means a lot. Thank you, right? And in writing this poem, it really let me know I had to pull it from a place of where I had to remember about what rest does if you do not have it. What your body will turn its back on you. Let me say it again. Your body will turn its back on you if you do not rest, because resistance cannot happen and you're tired. It's just it. So this poem I like to think of it as like a mantra, right? Feel free to join in if you can, when you can, right? But just we know that on this month that we have because of Carter G. Woodson, right? It is important to get your rest. It is important to get your rest. Because rest assured that my rest is sure, that my capacity will not take back its capabilities, and in order for strong to strengthen, then strength must rest assured that my rest is sure, that my capacity will not outweigh my capabilities, and in order for strong to strengthen, then strength must. Expanding my rest is bridging a valley gap that will soon be closed. Watch what I pull when I. Expanding my rest is pushing a mountain without the exhaustion of pushing. Watch what I move when I. The expansion mantra now is that all issues, every single one of them, they will be taken lying down. This is where the hamster's wheel becomes the hamster's will. Let me say that again. This is where the hamster's wheel becomes the hamster's will, which was once a part of the hustle, was no longer a part of the hustle. We're finding ourselves just to hustle until we hustle. We're not even given the gift of death. There is so much loss. In the words of Rick Ross, there has to be a reimbursement from the cost when every day you're hustling, every day you're hustling, every day you're hustling, every day you're stumbling, every day you're struggling, every day I am becoming a slave to myself when I don't release myself to. Y'all, this interesting about the word rest when you spell it. It starts with these two letters. It starts with these two letters, R-E. And R-E, as a prefix, it means back or again. So when you rest, you rejuvenate, you reacquaint, you reacclimate. There's a remix version of you to redo while you are relaxing. When your body is at rest, it is at reopus, and we know this, so rest assured that my rest is sure, that my capacity is not tied to my capabilities, and in order for strong to strengthen, then strength must assure that my rest is sure, that my capacity is not tied to my capabilities, and in order for strong to strengthen, then strength must rest. This is from the founding director of the Menil Foundation, Simone Swan, executive vice president. Make sure you turn off your phones. Because of course I'm not going to take accountability for that. And she's writing to Charles Freeman. Dear Charles Freeman, we want to go ahead with the breakfast program. The budget was $6,500 a year, with the breakfast to be held in a place which you will find. We propose to make available to you each month $525, unless you would prefer to divide the amount by 10 on the grounds that during the summer months there is no school. Hence, no program. Tell us what you want in that respect. Meanwhile, we are sending you an enclosed check for $525 to cover the expenses for the first month. Our commitment to the program is for a year and in the end of December 1973. More on the clinic since things are pending and finding a suitable space. And they wind up expanding it more than a year. This young lady who is coming to the stage, going to share some work, some original poetry. I met her about a year ago now. I had the pleasure of coaching her on the Metaphor Houston Youth Poetry Slam team that happened to be two-time champions in the international space of spoken word performance poetry, right? So we're going to keep those applause going. We're going to keep those going. And please make it warm for Maya Skelton.
Now we are actually just going to go straight into the first poem. My hair is a shield. It's a... Give me a second. I haven't performed this in a minute, so it's memorized, but in the sense that things are always a little difficult. One moment. All right, let's try that again. Y'all didn't see that, trust. My hair is a shield. It's a defensive armor when people ask, oh my God, is this real? Sitting in a cafeteria surrounded by people I don't know, I tell a girl yes as I move out of her reach. She comes closer, intent to touch, and I lie saying, it's dirty. Undeterred, she tries again, and it takes everything in me not to scream because I'm not Jesus. Your lack of belief in this fluffy, tangled reality will not move me to put your fingers here, not when your infested hands would never be allowed to touch a well-crafted crown of gold, decked with diamonds and jewels of old, or even a scythe with the power to tear up the earth and turn blood cold. And since life and death lies in the power of my tongue, what I'm saying to you is no, you can't touch my halo. My mane is my living testimony, proof of the righteous courage of my ancestors. Even when it seemed to you God had stopped smiling down upon them, Scripture proved true that being forsaken was never going to be an option. These strands are a map of cultural identity, holding messages for changed families, providing nourishment for long journeys, and representing the long path to freedom. These locks hold a legacy, granting me with wings that allow me to soar above every brutality that the world tries to inflict. So when I'm looking in the mirror, pissed off that it's too unruly, a deep sigh is all it takes to remember that it holds beauty. It holds the brotherhood and the sisterhood that I grew up feeling every day when I awaken. It encompasses my dying community. My hair is a reminder to the world that I'm still here, looking as good as the words coming out of my mouth. A Menil organic siren signaling that the same way it stands beautifully despite heavy humidity, despite heat from the sun's activity, despite rain that falls in more directions than one, so shall I. It's a reminder to the world that I was made to be here, not as in I was bred for field labor, but as in I was birthed into a royal priesthood, not as in I was birthed into ghettos with gangs, but as in I was prophesied into a heritage of deep roots next to a river that will never run dry. My hair is not an artifact in a museum. It is not an animal you can tell me to put down with a flat iron. It is not an experiment for you to test products, but rather it is connected to a wallflower you should feel blessed to watch bloom. My hair is wild as fire that brings destruction and pain, but it's calm and gentle and soothing like rain. My hair is as beautiful as it has ever been. But to answer your question, I will say to you again that yes, it is my own. All right, and that is the first piece of my set. Now, I am not typically one for crowd work, as I am not a yapper with people I do not know. But considering I have the time, I figured I might as well use it. So I have two more pieces for you, one of which is mostly memorized, the other of which is not memorized, and you will get to decide which one you want to hear first. One or two? One or two? The not memorized. Cool, the not memorized. Now, this one is the one that I wrote specifically for this event because the other piece was one that was written just because of the importance of what I feel of writing, but I'll explain that later. This one, I wanted to really hone in on Houston, considering that this is about the Houston Black Panther Party. So it was kind of my take on what this city means to me, but also what I mean to this city. Bayou City is slowly sinking under the weight of its own existence. Being built on a watery foundation leads to a rocky future, but nothing is more rocky than the coloring of my skin. Of the skin dark enough to shine even at midnight, blinding and intoxicating in the wild, bright colors are usually a warning. I guess I should have listened to my own when I looked in the mirror this morning. I should have known that leaving the safety of the nest, the den, the burrow would put me in the hands of the unknown, of uncontrollable forces that want to break me to the bone. They see my life as nothing more than a loan. In return for the air in my lungs, I keep quiet my moans of displeasure. My life is a worthless treasure, they think my life is not worth the hassle. So when I start to sink into my blackness, they don't think about throwing me a life jacket. I think I don't need one anyway. Why fight for perceived pleasure when the only thing in front of me is pain, when I can sink into the murky abyss of genuine love, because I feel genuine love from my brothers and sisters, and I feel genuine love when I look in the mirror and embrace this blackness. So while Bayou City is slowly sinking under the weight of its own existence, I am flying beneath the waves of mine. I'm not afraid to seek, and I do not need your life jacket to stay alive. You should have known this poem was not a lamentation, it was a warrior's cry. These cries are full of power the same way my body is full of melanin. These eyes full of fire like those that took place in the history of my people. This shout is one of a beautiful Black woman, and I will never apologize for being just what I am, for being just who I be. This shout is of a beautiful Black woman, for having God on my side as he lives within me, for shaking the earth with Black power as I stand like a tree. If Bayou City is slowly sinking, it's doing so because of the beauty, the power, and the love that is within me. Thank you for the claps, I feel so loved. Okay, this last piece is one that I wrote because something that Bean talked about is obviously it took the writing to make this happen. If someone didn't write the letters to the Menil, they would not have funded what needed to be funded. And writing is such a big mode for change and just a big mode for life in general. It helps people get out of many oppressive situations, and it has for centuries. Writing has always been important. Language has always been important. And I wanted to hone in on that because writing is also something that has helped me get out of my own head, which can be oppressive. If you know what that feels like, you know what that feels like. So yeah, this is kind of an important poem for me, and I hope you enjoy it. If you don't tell me. I'll cry, trust. Writers write. It is both their job and description, using descriptive words to prescribe prescriptions to cure all of humanity's messy addictions. We are the encryptors of knowledge. You may think it's not in our jurisdiction to write benedictions and convictions, but what we say lasts forever, every thought its own inscription. We breathe the law. Your permission is not required for us to thrive in our ambition. We form coalitions while feeling abolition in our blood. We are revolutionaries, evolutionary luminaries. Yes, the word was with God and from God, but in this case, society is baby Jesus, and we are nurturing Mother Mary. Please hear me when I say a writer is essential in society today. Influential, reverential, our heart beats like an instrumental that you can't live without, and yet you try to live without us. You try to get us to doubt us, and now writer's block. Block every thought in our heads to a tangled knot of ideas long dead. Try to write, but met with blocks of lead from the pencils that we keep throwing over our shoulders. Society says, just move forward, but I can't move when there's no world order or too much, so I stay untouched. Blocked by my own unwillingness to run, because writers don't run, writers write. So writer, write. Don't stop writing. You don't have to be right. Just write the right words for the people that need you. Let no lies blind you from the light. This is not the fight that you were expecting, but it's time to win in spite. Tonight, you are a knight in shining armor with less bark and more bite. You are a smoldering fire, but it's time to ignite and incite change. Writer, write, writer. You are the right writer for the job at hand, but remember, Just because it's a job don't mean you gotta have projects planned. Understand, there is no starving artist when we are the nutrition given to man. Your mind is not the enemy, be not mistaken. You have rooms to command. Writer, writer. Write what others need to hear. Write words for wrong times. Write light concerns and speak them loud. See how quickly your message gets carried by the birds. Writer, write for yourself if you have fear. Watch how easily you connect to people who aren't even near. Writer, be yourself under pseudonyms and misinterpretations, because this life is a war. I'll repeat, this life is a war, and you can only win if you have the battle plan. So writer, write.
Y'all enjoy that, yeah? Yeah, good. Give her another round of applause, y'all. I come in, I bring to you as, I am not here to, nor do I want to ask for more than a raised index and middle finger as the sand clock finishes and the sandpaper vanishes. With hours, by the hour, at any expectance, there's an acceptance to be given our, or we will take our peace. Give us our peace. We deserve our peace. We step with peace for our peace. Give us peace. Give us peace. Give us peace. Give our people peace. Give our people peace. Each person, people. We are the extraordinary. Living among the ordinary who believe that ties don't tie the same way on a white collar or blue. My class is not your home room. I am a match. I burn at both ends. I just don't burn for you. We are regular people. All my hairs are numb and I carry 10 digits in my pockets. I was given a pair to stare and I wear them in my sockets. I am a person, not a people. We speak the same language, even when it's not the same language. That's when the universal language or Bible comes in. I use the same 10% of my brain as you do. I wanted to use the other 90 so I could soul to the guru. I woke up early in the morning to catch a 7:30 flight. Flew halfway around the world and landed in the night. Climbed halfway up a mountain, got halfway in the village. When I reached the guru, he touched me and replied, "You are really a person. You may have been born on different days, but you created the same way, of the same basis, using the same clay. You are regular people. We are regular people. You're the starving child abandoned in Ethiopia. You're a rich kingdom hoarding the cornucopia. You are people." Well, excuse me, Mr. Shaman Man. I traveled a long ways to try to find some solutions, and now I found a man that only added to my confusion. I don't want to be just one of the people, no. I want to ride an elevator to the top until I have no equal. I want to see that's where I've been. The top is cold, desolate, regrettable, yet unforgettable. I tug and you tug. As a reminder, the rope strands are once alive and secluded. You die, you are, I am, we are. He is, she is, they are, you are. Free-floating molecules making up the body of the universe. You are the stanza, the mantra, the words, the free verse. Passports take months for you to receive, so when you walk, you're a poem in motion. You are, I am, we are seeds deeply rooted in the forest of poetries. Let my limbs reach you. Read my leaves and allow them to teach you. Gather your bones on the way to the summit. Toss them, let them delete, then plummet into the depths of one's soul as you traveled your way on top of the mount. You see, while you were on your way up, I was on my way down. And that's how we met at the middle, because you can't figure out the riddle that the way to escape the people is to become the people. So at least speak to the people. You don't have to agree with the people, because come on, have you met them? You know how people see. You give them the truth, but you know how people can be. You teach them all the right things, and they may choose immorality, so just choose. What is your choice? Don't worry about your flaws. Subsequently, we're all equal. And I heard your people can build Babylite towers. And I heard your people who are craftsmen of steeples together, or people can build cathedrals one person at a time. Because we are all regular. the next, and I'm gonna let him talk about his process and such, but I think music, like art, right, is a timestamp of where people or culture is in that time. And with things that are happening across the nation, this is going off a little track, but artificial intelligence cannot really gravitate and be a true representation of the art that we're going to need for these next few years or decade or whatever it may be. So the idea of I wanted to have music be a part of this was important because music is a timestamp of culture, right? And I feel that my boy here, introduction, D4, let's show some love, D4. Yeah, show some love. It's good with that. It's good with the mantras that we're going to need, and let you take it.
Two, three, check, 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 we're on. All right. Hello, everyone, how you doing? All right. My name is Desmond. I go by D4 Music. My last name's Foy. I'm West Indian. That's a very long story. It's longer than the month of February. Anyway, I'm at Outspoken Bean at a Rudy Francisco show where I heard him speak. And I handed him an album of mine called Groove Movement by Definition. And I told him, I was like, hey man, if you listen to this album, man, it has like some awesome poetry, some really insatiable components that I know you'll resonate with. Like I know you will. Speedball into like later on, let's say, what was that, 2024 was when we went to the Eclipse Festival? I'm at the Eclipse Festival. Never been to a festival in my life. My wife talked me into it, and I was like, damn, this is a culture shock thing for me, like, real culture shock. I look down, next thing I know, I see the top of Outspoken Bean's head, and I'm like, I know whose head that is, man. Hey, Bean, turned around, he was like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, I got it right, it's that black guy, like, yeah. But I've been talking ever since. I invited him up to Buda. We've been sharing correspondence. He's really helped me endeavoring to doing things out here in the Houston area. I've been out here before, I've met several different people, always had a great time. So it's nice to boomerang back with this musical love thing, right back into the culture. And for my first trick, I'm going to do a song called Independence and Unity, okay? Independence and Unity. Freedom comes when all are whole. Freedom comes when all fear is gone. Freedom comes when all are whole. Freedom comes when all fear is gone. Most go where the wind blows. I said they follow no leader. I said I'll show you a new hope and make you a believer. I know what I'm supposed to do. Show this whole world a new point of view. Focus on me and you, not the bullshit via pay-per-view. Now there's 20 times a free, my like mine on an infinite. I'm the free to work the grit, raw game like a church boy hypocrite. Broadcast to the masses quick. The dollars on in don't kill the sick. Politicians keep talking shit but can't afford the toilet paper to wipe their lips. That's a policy eating ass. Brown nose diet I'ma have to pass on. Boss up on the challenge quick. I'm afraid to finally stand strong. I see them in the distance now, looking for the answers to everything they read. They read, really read, shout and read. Looking in their phones now, sir, the world becomes a blur. To everyone they meet, back on track. Roberta at Black House Society Space, broadcasting on the sound wave into the atmosphere to space. That's musical taste without a musical waste. Served up in the kitchen so you can finally see grace. So you can finally sing the next to something choo-choo, oh great. Hold it up to the light and look real close, then see that it has way. Pass it round in the hood, let them know it's all good. And financial freedom's coming on. Freedom comes when all are home. Freedom comes when all fear is gone. Freedom comes when all are home. Freedom comes when all fear is gone. Must go where the wind blows. I said they follow no leader. I said I'll show you a new hope and make you a believer. So here we are in the midst of this society. Starbucks high as hell, yet they call that sobriety. And that's more than me, that's more like all of we. And I connection, love on each other eternally. Ooh. See them in the distance, say, looking for the answers to everything they read. They read. They really read, truly read. ChatGPT type read. Looking in their phones outside. The world is just a blur. To everyone they meet. Freedom comes when all are home. Freedom comes when all fear is gone. Freedom comes when all are home. Freedom comes when all fear is gone. Most go where the wind blows. I said they follow no leader. I said I'll show you a new hope, and make you a believer. Thank you. Thank you. Is there any way I can get a tad bit more guitar? Just. Thank you, I appreciate it. So this next song is a song that's very dear to my heart. I wrote the song about 10 years ago. but it still holds true today.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know which way to turn. All I know is I'm not strong enough. I need help. Hear me when I call. King Jesus, lead me to your safe arms. Hear me when I call. King Jesus, lead me to your safe arms. Put out your guns. Love everyone. Oh, oh, everyone. Everyone. Put down your guns. Love everyone. Oh, oh, everyone. Everyone. I don't know how to give. I'm embarrassed about my last 2 cents. I need help. Hear me when I call. King Jesus, lead me to your safe arms. Hear me when I call. King Jesus, lead me to your safe arms. Put down your guns. Love everyone. Oh, oh, everyone. Everyone. Put down your guns. Love everyone. Oh, oh, everyone. Everyone. Put down your guns. Love everyone. Oh, oh, everyone. Everyone. Put down your guns. Love everyone. Oh, oh, everyone. Everyone. I don't know how to live. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know how to give. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know yet what to do, but I'm sure you do.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I'd like to sing this next song to my wife, my lovely wife. Please stand up for me, my lovely wife. This is my wife, Janae, man. Like, you don't know, man. She holds me down, for real. Like, she really holds me down, and I really appreciate you. And I'll give you enough flowers, but I'm hooking you up tonight, all right? For real, I swear. But this song is about her, entirely about her, and how she makes me feel. And I wanted to reciprocate that this love month, some Black love month. All right.
Pretty little thing, you're my everything. Since I don't smoke, you're my Mary Jane. I'm talking Tarzan and everything. Said you make a brother wanna sing. Pretty little thing, you're my everything. since I don't smoke in my Mary Jane. I'm talking Tarzan and everything. You make a brother wanna sing. Yeah, make a brother wanna sing. Yeah, make a brother wanna sing. Yeah, make a brother wanna sing. Yeah.
Listen.
I tell her, beautiful. Timeless is your kindness, elegance your highness. Skywalking across clouds like Kobe did. More points than Wilt, just like Cheryl did. She got the top score on my life game. She got the Cupid coochie, and her mama got nice aim. Type love won't let go in my right brain. Dollar bill heavy, showed me my thing. Dobbs no approach, showed me I know more light change. Only she can change the cool weather to light rain. More than willing to endure her precipitation, just to hand her daily inoculation of true blue BBC libation, blessed by a king well within his station. Far be a long-winded hesitation of a marathon body language conversation. Pretty little thing in my everything. Since I don't smoke in my Mary Jane, I'm talking Tarzan and everything. I said you make a brother wanna sing. Pretty little thing in my everything. Since I don't smoke in my Mary Jane, I'm talking Tarzan and everything. You make a brother wanna sing. Yeah, make a brother wanna sing. Yeah, make a brother wanna sing. Yeah, make a brother wanna sing. Yes, indeed. I love you, Donut. All right.
So we're going to do this last piece. I hope you've enjoyed this evening, right? We're not done. Don't give me an applause like the standing ovation. We're not done, all right? But I do want to say that it is important to know, our roots, right? It's important to know things that have happened in benefit of you, right? The Black Panther Party really started catching heat when they started going to poor white people, when they started going to the brown berets, when they started uniting with other people, right? When, MLK even, right, is classically defamed in of his language, right? But as soon as he started talking about the Vietnam War, a hedge of protection is gone. Started talking about universal pay, hedge of protection is gone. So this letter, remember I talked about a man, Stephen Edwards. His pen was a sword, y'all. His pen was a sword, and
The revolution never.
And even with this letter, he's reaching out to Simone Swan and giving his condolences to giving his condolences to John de Menil. But even in this letter, because opportunities, when they're there, you have to strike. Even in a letter of condolences, he's like, we need you to run them checks back. And they did. And so, let's go, bro. Let's do it.
For the people, for the people.
Dear Simone Swan, some time ago, we collaborated with De Menil Foundation for a number of programs. The free breakfast program for school children and our people's free food distribution program, all of which serves deep desires and needs of the city's economical depraved people. Our efforts in establishing these programs manifested itself in our tremendous amount of love for our appraisal of the overall objective, social inequities, lets us know that there should be many more programs of this nature serving our people. I feel, however, before this can be effectively done, there should be an organized political apparatus or institution. And if it's one thing we lack, it is control of our institutions. This is essential reason why the Black Panther Party is struggling to create and build community structures, which is desperately needed in these times. Since our coalition, our collaboration with the Menil Foundation, in particular, the deceased John de Menil, we have been grasping for organizations, and it is basically an organization of the lower social economical Black people. And anytime you organize for the most victimized of victims, anytime you organize for the most victimized of the victims, anytime you organize for the most victimized of the victims, you run into the problem that there is a lack of finance. John de Menil is in acknowledging and understanding our goals, gave generously for several programs, and in some instances was responsible for the funding and the initiatives of many more. I don't know much about the previous life of Mr. de Menil, but I do know he contributed to helping my people and many other people who are disenfranchised, downtrodden, dispossessed of the material wealth that is necessary for a man and his brethren to live in peaceful tranquility. For the Black Panther Party and the people we serve, we are grateful. When we heard of the death of John de Menil, we were not deeply disturbed because we knew that the case of the human being is not dealing with the single individual. We are also dealing with the ideas and the beliefs that have motivated him and which sustained him, even when his body is confirmed to rest. In other words, ideas move from one person to the next. In other words, ideas move from one person to the next. In other words, ideas move from one person to the next. And the people must always carry forward the ideas. At the present, I am concentrating very hard on the free clinic that we frequently talked about in the past. It is something that we have always looked forward to presenting to the community for our people. In the very near future, I would like to discuss this matter with you. And if you would like, deliver the facts to your concerning the Senior Citizens Against Environmental Health Program. Thank you, Simone. You have been wonderful. Sincerely yours, Stephen Edwards.
The revolution never left black.
Speak to me, speak to me. 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 Speak to me.
More than familiar, this feeling is peculiar. The smile and cry for the people who identify how joys and pains are quite similar. It's the crowns and the thorns to be hated and adorned. It's actually eternally. It's really more interesting. My black is a paradox, the cauldron calling. Better with the pot Negro. Y'all know I know my black, right? Right? It's to be addressed and attacked, to be adorned and snatched, to be feared, rejected, admired, neglected, desired, unprotected. This reasoning of black is a seasoning of black, and the seasoning is black. Y'all, I'm seasoned in black, right? But lately feeling closer to bland brown rice. My black is aware anytime when I wear a black hoodie at night. A fondness of black since I found my black within people, within places, and everything, y'all. I got this noun in my black. I got this noun in my black.
Yes, you is.
This fondness of black since I found my black. Got this fondness of black since I found my black. Got this fondness of black since I found my black. Got this fondness of black since I found my.
I found my black shoulder. I found my black.
Got this fondness of black since I found my black. Got this fondness of black since I found my black. Got this fondness of black since I found my black. Got this fondness of black since I found my.
I found it. Found it. Oh.
I got this fondness of black since I found my black. Got this fondness of black since I found my black. Got this fondness of black since I found my black. Got this fondness of black since I found my. I want to remind you, right? I'm going to say some names and I would like you to say them back, right? Stephen Edwards.
Stephen Edwards.
Carl Hamilton.
Carl Hamilton.
Charles Freeman.
Charles Freeman.
Fred Hampton.
Fred Hampton.
Huey P. Newton.
Huey P. Newton.
And there's so many more. There are more names that are not here, right? And so I want you, and I implore you to read the materials that I have here, right? If you scan for the program, I've given it to you, right? And let's show some love before I move on, let's show love to people who archive. This should have been called when the archives speak, right? Because when you start thinking about archival work, there's a lot to go up against. Humidity, bugs,
Yep.
humans,
Facts.
right? So to the Menil Archive Department, thank you for letting me raid your place. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, right? Thank y'all. Thank you to the Menils, to the Menil collection. Mary, Tony, thank you, right? Thank you to Foy.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Maya, thank you, Maya. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just fondness of black since I found my black. Got this fondness of black since I found my black. Got this fondness of black since I found my black. Got this fondness of black since I found my black. Got this fondness of black since I found my.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bean and Maya and DeFoy, and thanks for everyone who's coming tonight.
So, like I said, we would love to take pictures. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot, but love to take pictures. Please read. If you are over 21, I'm sorry, Maya. I'm going to 93 Till. You can come holler at me there. You know what I'm saying? But thank y'all so much for coming and learning about this, right? And let's spread this information, right? You can't go to the archives, but right, everything that's laid out can be taken pictures of, right? This archival work is obviously it's not the original, but I was able to get the copies, and thank y'all. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being curious, right? And the work that the Black Panther Party literally benefits, right? The seeds they sowed then are the fruits we are bearing now. Thank y'all.